Okay. All right. That's all right. We're going to go over it again. You can take a few notes. All right. So, first point is we began all these discussions on what is the difference between an idol and a deity. So, Pravalika, yes. Now you take these notes now, okay? 1.
The idol can reciprocate and talk to devotees, but the Krishna can talk to devotees who are pure. And the other one is the Krishna.
Okay, go slow. Did you get that? Oh, okay, go ahead. We'll go over it. Go ahead.
Krishna has his own energy, but the statue doesn't.
Right. The deity is made of Krishna's own energies, which are? Earth, water, fire, air, and ether, right? Okay. And then, so the statue, let's say we're going to talk about the statue of Gandhi at the Bellevue Library, right? Now the statue of Gandhi at the Bellevue Library, is it made of Gandhi's own energies? No. But the deity of Krishna is made of, which are? Yes. Okay, so that's number 2 reason, right? And number 3? What's the third reason? Krishna is present in what? Yeah, and in every atom of the universe. So he's present in every atom of the deity, right? So that means that, is Gandhi present in every atom of his deity? No. Okay, so now we have those reasons. And the fourth reason is, now there's a fourth. What's the ceremony for establishing the deity? It's called Pran Pratishta. Yeah, where you invite the deity. And then once the deity is invited, first of all, the deity is made according to what? According to the descriptions in the scriptures, in the Holy Scriptures, right? Like the Srimad Bhagavatam and others. And then, once the deity is invited to reside in the deity, which is made according to Krishna's description in the scriptures, what has to be done? We have to offer arti 6 times a day. We have to dress the deities in the morning, undress them at night, and redress them in pajamas. And then we have to feed them. We have to make fresh garlands every day. Do they do that for Gandhi's statue? No. Okay. So now, there are 4 major reasons that differentiates between Gandhi's statue and Krishna's deity. So there is a difference between a statue or an idol and a deity. Now in the case of the demigods, when there's so-called deity of a demigod, again there's a difference. Because is a demigod the Paramatma? No. So it's not present in every atom of the universe, right? even Lord Shiva is not present in every atom of the universe. Is the deity made of the demigod's own energies? No. The deity of Krishna is made of his own energies, earth, water, fire, air, ether. Is the deity, well, they do pranpratishta, they do worship the deity of the demigods. And do the devotees of the demigods see the deities of the demigods with love? Maybe, maybe not. How do we know that? Well, there's an interesting story. One time, a man came before the deity of Durga, and he prayed to Durga, please Durga, give me a lot of success in my business. So, and Durga Mata said, okay, I'll do it. She didn't say that to him, but, he felt as if, she was going to reciprocate with him, but she didn't actually speak to him. So he came back after about a year. His business did really well. He came back after a year, and he didn't bring anything. He didn't bring anything for Durga. Actually, what you have to bring is a goat, and they slaughter goats to please Mother Durga. So he came back and he said, oh, my business did well, thanks a lot, and now my son wants to go to Harvard, please let him pass the test. So Durga said, wait a minute, I made your business well. This time she spoke to him in deity. She said, I made your business go well, but you didn't bring me a goat. I said, oh yeah, I forgot. Okay, next time I come, I'll bring you one. So, but take care of my son, please. So his son did well in his SAT test, and he got into Harvard. So he didn't come back for a year. So when he came back, he said, oh, thanks a lot for my son. He said, it worked out really fine. He's in Harvard now. He said, but my wife's got to have an operation next week. Can you take care of that? And Durga said, what happened to the goat? You were going to bring me a goat. Oh, I forgot. It's so hard for me to remember things sometimes. But the goats are a little expensive nowadays. And she said, well, can you bring something else? He said, okay, I'll bring you a rabbit. How about that? And she said, okay. So again, 1 year went by. His wife's operation was successful. And he came back again. And he said, thanks for my wife. She's better now. And Mother Durga said, what happened to the rabbit? He said, oh, it's so hard to catch rabbits. I couldn't catch one. And she said, well, at least give me something, He said, well, how about a mosquito? And she said, okay, I'll take a mosquito. He said, but look, you got 10 arms, and there's tons of mosquitoes in your temple. Why don't you just grab one? Now, does that sound like he's a pure devotee? No. Why is he going to Mother Durga?
He's very greedy and he wants everything.
Does he want to give anything?
No.
See, that's the difference between demigod worship and worshiping Krishna. We always give something to Krishna, and we don't really ask him for anything back. How do we know that? Because Lord Chaitanya, whose appearance day is tomorrow, prays, Na danam, na janam, na sundarim, kavitam va jagadisha kamaye, mama janmani janmanishware, bhavatad bhaktir ahaitu ki twayi. He says, my dear Lord, I don't want any amount of wealth. I don't want to have sense gratification. I don't want any number of followers or disciples, or nor do I want many sons, or nor do I even want anything. I don't even want to have liberation. All I want is to have your service, birth after birth. So this is Lord Chaitanya praying. So, let's learn this verse. If you learn this verse, you know all the philosophy of Krishna consciousness with this one verse. Actually, 2 verses you have to learn. So let's at least learn the first 3 lines. Nadanam, write that down. N-A-D-H-A-N-A. Nadanam. Najanam. N-A-J-A-N-A-M. Nadanam, Najanam. Na Sundarim. N-A-S-U-N-D-A-R-A-M. Nadanam means I don't want any amount of wealth. Najanam, I don't want to have disciples or a big family. Na Sundarim means I don't want to have sense gratification. So write that down. I don't want any amount of wealth. I don't want any wealth. I don't want a big family or many disciples. I don't want wealth. That doesn't mean Krishna won't give you wealth. If he sees you're really not attached to wealth, he might give you a tremendous amount of wealth. But you'll use it in his service. You won't use it for nonsensical things like iPads and Xboxes and things like that. Yeah. You use it to help people. Just like today, we're going to distribute 600 burritos, 1,000 cookies, and many books. Yes?
Every time when me and Arush, we go to a place called Samvat on Saturday, and we bring our money and we keep it in a box to give to poor people.
Good. Yeah. But if the poor people buy wine and meat with your money, then you get some of the karma. 1/6 of the karma. Yeah. That's why we don't just hand out money. We hand out prasadam. Yeah.
Instead of money, if you hand out prasadam, then you know they won't drink wine with it.
Well, they might drink wine, but not with your money.
I never drink wine.
I know. But if you just hand out money to people, they might go and buy marijuana or wine or meat, and you get 1/6 of the sin.
How do you spell disciples?
D-I-S-C-I-P-L-E. So he says, I don't want any amount of wealth. That doesn't mean he won't give you wealth. But when he sees that you're not attached to using wealth for nonsense, then he can give you unlimited wealth, because he knows you will use it all in Krishna's service. And he says, I don't want any number of, let's say, followers or disciples. And I don't want sense gratification. And nadanam najanam nasundaram kavitam va jagadishakamaya mama janmanishware. That means I don't want liberation. I don't want mukti. Just write the English down. You don't have to write the Sanskrit for that. I don't want liberation or mukti, M-U-K-T-I.
So I don't want wealth, I don't want liberation of the
Yeah, I don't want any number of disciples. And I don't want sense gratification. And I don't want liberation. Liberation, Liberation. Does everybody have those notes now? I don't want any wealth. Mukti means liberation. And I don't want disciples. Disciples means followers, people that follow you and listen to what you say. And I don't want sense gratification. Like I don't want to play Crash Royale and dumb games like that. So, S-E-N-S-E, sense, S-E-N-S-E, sense, S-E-N-S-E. S-E-N-S-E. I only want, okay, what does he want? I only want your service, Krishna. I only want your service. Birth after birth, meaning he doesn't want liberation, right? So I only want your service. So the devotee does want something. He wants service for Krishna. Okay. So how does that sound? Let's say someone says, I want a new car. I want a vacation. I want a house. I want an Xbox. I want an iPhone. I want a boat. I want Nike sneakers. I want this. I want that. How does that sound compared to, I only want your service, Krishna?
That makes it much more simpler.
Simpler and pure, right? Pure desire. So you can't live without desires, but you can live with pure desires. Okay. So, therefore, tomorrow is Lord Chaitanya's appearance day. Lord Chaitanya is Radha and Krishna combined. And this is his prayer, to show us how to pray. So if you go in front of the deity, say, I want a new car, I want a new house, I want to have new friends, I want to do this, I want to do that. Does that sound like a prayer? If someone comes up to you and says, what? Yeah, someone comes up and says, oh, Krishna, give me your coat, give me your shoes, give me your pencil, give me this, give me that. And someone else comes up to you, Krishna, I want to give you a new coat. I want to give you some new socks. I want to give you a book. I want to give you, which friend would you like? Yeah, always wants to give. Yeah. So now you know what Krishna likes. What does he like? He likes givers. Does he like takers? Not that much, yes.
And Krishna also likes people who say instead of
thank you, yes.
This, that, when you do this to Krishna, and they say thank you for this life.
Thank you for everything that you're giving me. You're giving me intelligence, you're giving me health, you're giving me a nice mom and dad, giving me a nice house, and giving me good friends. And I want to thank you for all these things, Krishna. Okay. So, okay. Then, so that we began, many weeks ago with understanding the difference between an idol and a deity. So when you come to the temple and they open the curtain, are they idols? No, they're deities. Now, do you know the difference between an idol and a deity?
An idol is like
Gandhi's idol at Bellevue
Yeah, it
Library.
doesn't power itself.
It doesn't what?
It doesn't like have its own energy, but the deities have their own energy.
Look, the deity of Krishna is made of his own energy, which is? Okay, Prabhu, what is the energies, Krishna's own energies?
Earth, fire, water, air, and
And space, right? He's earth, water, fire, air, ether, or space. Okay, those are Krishna's 4 energies. And what verse explains that in Bhagavad Gita? Bhagavad Gita 7.5.
Something like 5.15.
You got it exactly wrong. That was really good. You were far away from the answer. It's 7.5. Bhumir apo nalo vayu. Earth, water, fire, air, and ether. Okay, so that's reason 1 why there's a difference between Krishna's deity and Gandhi's statue. What's reason 2? Krishna, you have to take these notes now. What's reason 1? Just write down difference between idol and deity. And from now on, bring your notes every week. So we go over it every week, and you're not remembering anything. Yes? Exactly right. And what verse is that? I have to look at your notes. Huh? Exactly right. You were on the verge of getting it exactly wrong, but your dad showed you. It was not Bhagavad Gita, it's Brahma Samhita. It's another book. 5:35. That means chapter 5, verse 35. Okay? That means that Krishna is in every atom of the universe. So is he in every atom of the deity? Yes. And reason number 3 of the difference between a deity and an idol. You have to know these things, right? We've gone over it every week. Yes, Arush. Yes, the deity has been installed with the pran pratishta ceremony, which means the priest invites the deity writes Krishna into the deity. And I have to write this down. The deity is made after the descriptions in the Vedic scripture. They don't just make up some, face or body of Krishna. Write that down. So number 3 reason, the deity is invited, Krishna is invited into the deity by the ceremony called pran pratishta. P-R-A-N T-H-I-S-T-A. Pratishta. P-R-A-N-T-H-I-T-A. Pran. P-R-A-N and then P-R-A-T-H-I-S-T-A. Pran Pratishta. Do you have that down, Augustine? Yeah. That's all right, go ahead. And you can look at Augustia's notes if you need. Okay, that's reason. And when the Pran Pratishta ceremony is performed, what happens after that? Pravalika. What happens? What must we do? Arti 6 times a day. And what else? What else, Krishna? What you have to do once the deity is installed with the Pran Pratishta ceremony.
You have to do almost everything you have and do everything you give everything you have to the deity. worship it.
Well, yes, you have to worship it, but how do you worship the deity? One thing is you do arti 6 times a day. What else do you do? Write these things down. Huh? You make offerings of food with tulsi leaf. And you bathe the deities. You change their clothes. You sing for the deities. You dance for the deities. Right? Do you offer the deities meat?
No.
What do you offer them? No. Prasadam is the name of the food after it's offered. Boga. Yeah, you offer them boga, but what's the boga made out of? Vegetables, grains, lentils, fruits, milk, water. Yeah. How would you like to have water only every day? Huh? Would you like that? No. So then you have to have the list of what you have to offer. There's milk, there's jaggery, there's grains, there's vegetables, there's fruits, there's nuts, there's lentils, beans, okay? All right. And then, next reason, number 4, of the difference between an idol and a deity. Prabhalika, you know. What's the 4th reason? And we already said that. It was your reason number 2, but actually it's reason number 4. Yes. What?
Many devotees talk with Krishna.
Yeah, it's possible to talk with Krishna because the devotees see the deity with love. The devotees see, just add that, the devotees see the deity with love. So let's say someone sees you with love, Agastya, and somebody else sees you with hate, and they're real mean. Which one would you like? Yeah. So, if you see the deity with love, then Krishna likes that. So he can speak to you. And you recognize Krishna whether he's present as Lord Ramachandra, or as Krishna, or as Nrsingadev. You don't see a difference. You recognize it's the Lord. You know his pastimes. You see, because you're seeing him with love. But someone who doesn't see Krishna with love, says, "Oh, he can't be a lion. That's not possible. He can't be a fish. And he's just an ordinary man like me." Does that sound like he has love for Krishna? No. So he's saying all kinds of nonsensical things. Okay, so 4 major reasons why there's a difference between an idol and a deity. Let's say tomorrow, Arush, right? Arush comes in, has a sign, "I'm the real Krishna." Now, how could you defeat that statement?
You could say, if you're Krishna, then turn into a fish. Yeah.
A fish?
Yeah.
He can pull a fish out of his pocket. I'll show you. Because he was expecting you to say something like that.
Okay.
Then turn into a lion.
Well, then he'll pull a little lion out of his pocket.
Turn into X.
Then he'll write X on a piece of paper and show it to you.
You won't know what X.
Well, now he'll say it's a variable. No, come on. Give me real reasons here. How would you defeat Arush? If he comes in with a sign, "I am the real Krishna," what would you say? Well, you'd say, "Wait a minute, Arush, are you in every atom of your body?"
then pull a little temple out of your pocket.
But he can draw a temple on a piece of paper and say, here's a temple.
No. We say sculpt a giant temple in 1 second, and it has to be not on paper.
Well, he'll go like this, and he'll say, I don't see it. You say, you don't see it because you don't have the eyes to see it, but I see it. And I just did it. No, come on, give me some real reasons. Is he present in every atom of his body? No. Is his body made of his own energy?
No.
Did someone perform the pran pratishtha ceremony?
No.
Is he worshipped 6 times a day?
No.
Right? And do people see him with love? Do you see him with love?
Yes.
You do? No, not if he says, I'm Krishna. Okay, so these are real reasons why he's not Krishna. Now, another thing is, when Krishna spoke to Arjuna, Arjuna asked him, show me your universal form. You know what the universal form is? In the 11th chapter?
So when everything, all the dead bodies going through his mouth or something, and then all the born ones coming out on the other side.
Yeah, anyway, we'll learn about that. But see, we could say to Arush, look, if you're Krishna, Krishna showed his universal form to Arjuna, so will you show me your universal form? Can you show a universal form? No. So all these reasons would defeat Arush being Krishna, even though he has a sign, I am the real Krishna.
But maybe he could just draw the universal form on a piece of paper.
No, Krishna didn't draw it on a piece of paper, he actually showed it. He showed past, present, and future. Do an illusion. Can you do an illusion? No. No. You see, you can't do it. Okay. So then, next thing, do you understand the difference between an idol and a deity? Yeah? Okay, so next week if I asked you, can you answer the question? Yes? Can you answer the question also? Okay. So the next thing we did was we discussed we discussed the 7 reasons why we cannot get out of the material world by any efforts that we make ourselves. 7 reasons. So, any of the girls know some of these 7 reasons? Yes.
The 3 was the material nature.
1. Go ahead. Next.
The time.
Well, let her.
Karma.
Yes. Yes.
Material desire.
Yes.
Material misery. And this body.
Yeah.
And bodies and actions.
What?
The miseries from
Oh, yeah.
your body, other bodies, and natural disasters.
Yes. Well, yes. Those are the miseries. There's 3 types of miseries. Yes.
The last
Lust, anger, greed, illusion, madness. Yeah. Lust, anger, greed, illusion, madness, and envy. Did you write envy? Okay. All right. And anything else?
forgetfulness of Krishna.
Huh?
Forgetfulness of Krishna.
Yes.
Considering death to be the end of
Oh, no. Okay. That's something else. That's the next question. Huh? What kind of intelligence? Confused mind. That's next. Okay, so let's go over it real quick. Did you take any of these notes? Okay, let's write it down. 1. Huh?
I have it on my other sheet.
Well, you have to bring the sheets of paper with you. You should tie a string on your little finger Leave it on all week, and before you come next week, look at your finger and remember what you have to do. What do you have to do? Very good. Yes, you have to bring your nose.
I remember just learning, but then I forgot again.
No, that's why you have to tie a string on your finger. Okay, so number 1 is modes of material nature. How many modes of material nature are there? How many modes, Augustia? No. How? Who said? What? Did you say 3? Oh, you said Krishna. That's correct. Okay. Do you know what they are? Huh? What did you say? Yeah. Do you know what they are? Yes. Yes. Very good. Okay. So now, number 2 is time. Time. Write it down. These are the reasons why we get stuck in the material world. We can't get out. Time. What? No, wait a minute. No. Number 3, karma. Write it down. The first one was the modes of material nature: goodness, passion, and ignorance. Karma. Okay. Number 2 was time. Number 3 is karma. Number 4, material desires. Material desires. These are the things that keep us in the material world, away from Krishna. Number 5, material miseries, right? Material desires, then material miseries. Number 5. M-I-S-E-R-I-E-S. Okay. 6, lust, anger, greed, illusion. Lust, anger, greed, illusion, madness. Madness meaning you're crazy. And envy. Lust, anger, greed, illusion, madness, envy. Lust, anger, greed, illusion, madness, envy. These are the things that keep us in the material world. Okay. So, Krishna, can you read your list of
Modes of material nature: goodness, passion, ignorance, time, karma, material desires, material miseries, lust, anger, greed, illusion, madness, envy.
Okay. So how many reasons is that? 6. Did you number them?
I'm thinking modes of material nature.
Yes. So how many is it then? 6. Okay. Then there's 7. Who knows number 7 reason why we stay in the material world? Akshara, you know? Yes. No? Yeah, okay. When we... Okay, go ahead. Who wants to say? 1.
Considering death to be the end of everything.
2. You want to say something? No, it's ignorance. Ignorance. What is ignorance? What does ignorance mean? Yes. Yes, Sanskriti. What? What?
You think that you're the body,
Exactly right.
I am this body.
Yes. Yeah. Do you have any friends at school that think I am this body?
Yeah.
Almost everybody?
Yes.
Do you believe I am this body?
No.
If I grab your ear like this and twist it, do you think you are the body? No. Okay. Okay. If I grab your nose like this, do you think you are the body? Even if it hurts, if I twist it like that, would you still think I am this body? No. Okay. Okay. So, that's no. Okay. So we had. That's ignorance, all right? And then there is moha. Moha means illusion. So ignorance, you think I am this body, and you're ignorant of the soul, right? And moha means that you are convinced that I am this body, and you act only for sense gratification. And mahamoha, the last reason, is you completely crazy for sense gratification. In other words, you can't talk about anything else. So you have Tamishra is the forgetfulness of Krishna, and under Tamishra is fear of death, and then tamas, ignorance, ignorant of your, not knowing that I'm a soul, and then moha means being convinced I am the body and acting only for sense gratification. And mahamoha means crazy for sense gratification. So this is number 7. Okay? Let's go over those 5 things again. Those 5 things of point 7. Number 1 is? Yes. Number 2 is? Huh?
Considering death to be the end of everything.
Yes. So if you consider death as the end of everything, how do you look at life? Yeah. Okay, go ahead, Akshara.
Oh.
Yeah.
Like when you die, you think that you either go to hell or heaven.
Yeah, so therefore you're not responsible to some God.
Like for example, like Mayavadis think like when they die they merge into Krishna.
They don't think it's Krishna, they think it's the light, Yeah. No, okay. Mayavadis, although it's atheistic, they don't believe that God is a person, but they still have some conception of God, because the Brahma Jyoti does come from Krishna. It's one aspect of Krishna. No, the atheists think there's no God at all, neither an impersonal God or a personal God. And at death, it's it. You're finished. There's nothing after death. And they don't believe in the soul also. These are atheists. So therefore, they don't think that they're responsible to anyone. Just like, do you think, Arush, that you're responsible to your dad and mom? Yeah, so if you do something wrong, what will happen? Exactly. But when you are an atheist, you don't think that there's a God, and therefore, after you die, there's no punishment for whatever nonsense that you do in this life. Right? So that atheism leads one to live a irresponsible, reckless life, doing all kinds of nonsensical things. Drinking, smoking, all kinds of crazy things. All right? So, that's, thinking that there's nothing after death. That means you're finished. Therefore, whatever you do now, just get away with it as best you can, because after you die, everything is finished. That's atheism. What is theism? Atheism is what I just said. Now, what is the opposite of atheism? It's called theism. What is theism?
Knowing that there is God.
Yes.
And there is life after death.
Yes.
And the soul never dies.
Yes. And we're responsible for everything we did, because there's a supreme God who's the controller. And he set up his rules of how to live. So if we don't follow those rules, then, just like Arush, if you don't follow the rules in your house that your mommy and daddy tell you to do, what happens? You get punishment. So if we don't follow God's rules, Krishna's rules, what happens?
You get punishment.
And if we follow his rules, what happens? We're rewarded. We're rewarded. What's the reward? Eternal life. No more death, old age, disease. You see? Okay, no more punishment. So, if you get punished, is it good or bad? Actually, it's good. If you accept the punishment, then you learn not to do things wrong. Actually, it's good. Okay, once upon a time, there was a man, a young boy, and his mother never punished him, no matter what he did. Never punished him, no matter what he did. So, one day he came home with a chicken, and his mom said, "Where'd you get the chicken from?" He said, "I stole it." She said, "Very good. We'll cook it and eat it." Another day he came home with a watch, and his mother said, "Where'd you get the watch from?" He said, "I stole it." She said, "Very good. Now we have a watch." So she never punished him. So he began with the chicken, then it was a watch, then it was a table, then it was a refrigerator, then it was a car, then it was money, and he finally got caught. Because when he stole the money, he killed someone also. So now he got caught, and then he went to court, and he was judged to be hanged. So the day came when he was going to be hanged on the gallows. You know what the gallows is? No, well, it's some steps. It goes up to a high platform, and it's got a hole and a trap door, so that when they open the trap door, the person falls through the hole and he gets stuck and he chokes to death. Right? That's hanging. Yeah. So the day came when he was going to be hanged, and they asked him, "Do you have any last wish?" And he said, "Yes, I want to speak to my mom." So they brought the mom up on the platform, and he had the noose around his neck, right? And they hadn't opened the trap door yet. And when the mom came, he said, "Please come closer." His hands were tied like this. He said, "Please come closer. I can whisper something in your ear." So she came real close and put her ear like this next to his mouth, and he bit her ear off. And he spit it out on the ground. And she said, "Ah!" I said, "Why'd you do that?" I said, "Because you never taught me what's right and wrong. That's why I'm being hanged right now." So is it a good thing never to punish your kids?
No.
So if you're a kid, is punishment good or bad? It's actually good if you learn what's right and wrong. We should never be afraid of being punished. We should thank. Well, of course, we don't want mean people, right? We want someone who loves you, but if they love you, they will punish you when you do things wrong, so that you learn the difference between right and wrong. If you don't learn the difference between right and wrong, will you end up like that boy? You could very easily. If every time you steal something, your mommy and dad say, "Oh, very good, very good. You know, we needed this." Do you think your mom and dad would ever say that if you came home and stole something?
No.
No, because they're good people, you see. But there are some moms and dads, there's one example we gave, they were happy that their son was stealing. But later on he realized that they were not really doing him good. Yeah.
My mom is very good. Whenever she punches me, I don't think so. I feel it, but she actually does that for me to learn. It's actually for my goodness.
Yes, exactly right. So next time your mom punishes you, Sanskriti, how are you going to look at it?
As a positively,
Positively, right? Why?
because I know it's for my good.
Because what?
Because I know it's for my good.
Because it teaches you the difference between good and bad. So if you accept punishment from a mom or a dad that loves you, or from a teacher that loves you, then you know it's for your good. Then you won't end up on the gallows with a rope around your neck and a trap door underneath you. What happens when they open a trap door?
Your rope hangs down and then it tightens.
And then you can't breathe, and then they tie your legs and hands so you can't move them, and it's very frustrating, and you choke to death until your neck breaks. It's a very terrible way of dying. Very terrible way of dying. But it's because someone did something really terrible, like kill someone else.
But sometimes when they can also forgive someone because their moms taught them. So I don't really know.
No, they don't forgive people because the mom didn't teach them. They feel sorry for them. There was one lady in America, she killed an entire family. She went into their house, it was a house invasion. She had a gun, she kept them prisoners, she tortured them and killed them. Like 7 people. Invasion means they come into your house and hold you up and take over the house. It's an invasion. They invade your house. What? Well, this person who killed the family, they went to jail. They were convicted of murder of 7 people and torture. She tortured them before she killed them. You know what torture means?
Yeah, I know what it means.
Yeah, it's like, it takes a match and burns your finger and, pokes your eye out, cuts your ear off. It's horrible. So, in jail, she converted to Christianity. What does that mean, converting to Christianity? Yeah, she accepted Jesus, right? And then she started preaching, and she convinced many prisoners to become devotees of Jesus. And then when the day was getting closer for her to be hanged, many people around the United States wrote letters to the governor of Texas, who at that time was George Bush. And they begged him, she's doing so much good. She's really repented for her sins. Please don't hang her. Let her live, a life sentence. Commute the sentence. It means make the punishment less. Instead of hanging, let her live the rest of her life in prison because she's doing so much good. Now, if you were George Bush, the governor of Texas, would you agree to that?
No.
Why? Yes, Yamuna.
Then she killed and tortured 7 innocent people.
Yeah. Now, you know what George Bush said? He said, I'm very happy that she converted to Christianity. And after we hang her, she'll go to heaven and meet God, and he can forgive her if he wants to. That was a very wise decision. He said, yeah.
I know she's doing that for not for she's just Christian, like going into Christianity, so the people could beg her to not.
Well, yes and no. Let's assume that she was for real. Let's assume Is that a reason to forgive her? No. So we can forgive her, but that doesn't mean she should not die. Why is it good that she should be hanged? Let's discuss this. Because there are many people, like in Washington State, it's against the law to kill even a murderer. I mean, when I say kill, after they're convicted, they don't have, it's called capital punishment, killing someone because they committed murder. You get life sentence. But in other states like Texas, they kill you. Now, is it a good thing not to kill the very bad criminals who commit murder and torture? Or is it a good thing? Huh?
It's a good thing.
Why? Why do you think it's a good thing?
Because the murder deserved it.
So it's a good thing to kill them, or it's a good thing not to kill them?
Not to kill them.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not to kill them. No, but they should give a punishment.
So that lady that tortured 7 people and killed them, you would have not done what George Bush did. You would have said that I'm going to commute her sentence, meaning lower the sentence from death to life imprisonment. You would have done that?
No.
Then why are you saying it's a good thing?
But I mean, like, if I was a normal person, not like George Bush. If I were a normal person, I would kill.
Well, let's say this person came into your house and killed your mom and dad.
Yes, I did kill them.
No, but
Big barn. I'll just go outside, take a metal stick, and whack their head.
no, you wouldn't be able to do that. So anyway, so let's look at this question from the point of view of Krishna consciousness. What does Krishna consciousness say? What does Krishna consciousness say? Okay, to know what Krishna's consciousness says, we have to go to the Bhagavad Gita. And in the Bhagavad Gita, when Duryodhana did so many bad things to the Pandavas, did Krishna say forgive him? No. Right? Krishna said kill him. So is Krishna mean and Jesus is not mean?
No, not nice.
Both of them are the same thing. Not like the same thing.
No, but here's the point. Let's try and understand this from the point of view of philosophy. From the point of view of philosophy of Krishna consciousness, if someone commits murder in this life and they get away with it, meaning they're not killed, then next life they suffer much more. But if they're punished in this life, then next life they already got their punishment, so next life they start from a better position. This is explained in the Bhagavad Gita, 2nd chapter, 21st verse. Write it down. 2nd chapter, 21st verse. Bhagavad Gita. Write it down. 2nd chapter, 21st verse. Write it down, Mayapur. 2nd chapter, 21st verse. 21. So, in this purport, Prabhupada explains, everything has its proper utility, and a man who is situated in complete knowledge knows how and where to apply a thing for its proper utility. Similarly, violence also has its utility, and how to apply violence rests with the person in knowledge. Although the justice of the peace awards capital punishment to a person condemned for murder, The justice of the peace cannot be blamed because he orders violence to another person according to the codes of justice. In Manu Samhita, the law book for mankind, it is supported that a murderer should be condemned to death, so that in his next life he will not have to suffer for the great sin he has committed. Therefore, the king's punishment of hanging a murderer is actually beneficial. It's actually good. Similarly, when Krishna orders fighting, it must be concluded that violence is for supreme justice, and thus Arjuna should follow the instruction, knowing well that such violence committed in the act of fighting for Krishna is not violence at all, because, at any rate, the man, or rather the soul, cannot be killed. So for the administration of justice, so-called violence is permitted. A surgical operation is not meant to kill the patient, but to cure him. Therefore, the fighting to be executed by Arjuna at the instruction of Krishna is with full knowledge, so there's no possibility of sinful reaction. So, we see that sometimes violence is good. Such, for example, if you do something really bad, like try to play with matches in the house and try to set the house on fire, and then your father gives you a good spanking, is that good or bad?
Good.
No, that's good. If you get a good spanking, would you ever play with matches again in the house?
No, never.
So you should thank your dad. Yes. And if your dad doesn't punish you, then you could play with matches again. And maybe next time set the house on fire.
And what if you have your dad's weapon, or maybe a gun, and
You play with it?
and just like a little baby, like, or maybe like a 5-year-old tries to play with it, and you snatch it. A 5-year-old, no, that would be bad.
Yes, he will. Yes, he will. So, no, your dad would be at fault because you're not allowed to leave guns laying around in the house. They have to be locked up according to the law. Okay, Haribol, we can speak a few minutes after the opening. We'll go over what we learned today.